I hope everybody's doing well today. We are going to be making a lidded box, but we're actually doing it just from a single piece of wood. This is cedar that I have had sanded on both sides. I actually took it to a cabinet shop. It took them 2 seconds. These dimensions are approximately 3¼ inches by 3¼ inch, and I'm cutting them up. I'm doing 2 different ones. This first one I'm gonna go ahead and cut it just to kind of speed it up, and then I'll leave 3 of these in squares and then turn them so that if you don't have a bandsaw, you still can make these by simply using a handsaw or any kind of a saw. You don't have to have a bandsaw to do this. I like trying to help people out that don't have a lot of tools, and it really doesn't take a lot to get into wood turning. But anyway, I'm cutting these in a basic circle. I'm not trying to do it perfect, just trying to get them round. This cedar is extremely soft, and I also was thinking about if it was a hardwood, it wouldn't be quite as necessary, but depending on the grain, this will just completely break and split across the wood if you hit it too hard or try to cut it too fast. But I'm simply turning these in circles, and I'm actually doing the lid on one of them. I realize I got 4 of them here, I think, but we're just trying to get it going. Now these are the ones that I'm not gonna cut. You can see how smooth it is, and if you can kind of see on the edge how rough it is, that's what the whole board looked like before they started doing the sanding. Well, so I've got my square ones and I've got my round ones together, and I'm drilling a hole in the tops of them, which I just did this when I was doing the ball jars, and I realized I could make a lid, or I could also make a lidded box, and I would have a dimension that was real standard. So I decided to do this the same way. Plus I like using this bit. It's 2 7/8 and looks real expensive. It's a really good one. It works well, but it's not that expensive. I have a link for it on my website, and also below this video. And we're just using white glue to glue them up and clamp them. And here I'm setting up for my mortise. This will be the bottom of the box, and I still got the outside to clean up and turn. And I thought about drilling this one out, but I thought these two are connected together, but I thought, why do that? We'll just do it normal. I'm using the Easy Tool square carbide cutter, and I think this one may have a negative rake on it. I'm not sure if that one does or not. but it does real good. And then I have to take a scraper that has a different angle on it to get the angle on it that my chuck has, or my jaws, so that they go in and grab good. Now I'm putting sanding sealer on here. I've already kind of turned it to a rough pattern. It has a lot of tear out, and I decided to go ahead and soak it down pretty good and let it dry. And it was just soaking it up like crazy. And I let it sit overnight. So then I started the sanding in the morning, and it's all dry. And I went from 80 to 400. And I'm not going to show all of that. Well, maybe I'm showing a lot of it. I didn't think it was this much. Now I turn it around and start cleaning up the inside, sanding it, getting the lid to fit just right. And it's basically not even going on right at this moment, so I'm not real concerned about taking off anything. And I realized the back wasn't really the way I wanted it. I wanted to kind of round it. And that's a Savannah round carbide with a negative rake on it. I personally, I'm not going to say I have to use it, but it grabs everything if I don't use it, so I got some. The negative rake is just basically something, instead of being a 90-degree cutoff, it's I'm not sure what the degree is, but basically it's just like taking a knife, instead of sticking it going up into the wood, you're actually scraping it. The blade is kind of pointing down. Just a little easier to maintain. And what I did here was a screwdriver, a short screwdriver that goes a little ways into that, and just sanding it that away, going through the same grit, 80 to 400. I want to apologize for all the carpet padding and carpet that's stacked up back there. That's just a small amount. We're changing it out in the house, and so it had to go somewhere, and somehow my area got voted to be the place to store it until we can get rid of it. just going through the grit. Well, I'm drilling a hole so that I can put a little knob on top of it. I just really wanted to do that, just more for decoration, I guess. Help pull it off. Right now I've got it pretty tight as far as the lid fitting on the box part. And I had an extra piece of Purpleheart wood that's real pretty. Got a good brown, but it's not overpowering. I'm going to use this for the knob on top of the box, the lid. After this knob is done, and actually you don't even see all of it getting done, the next file that I recorded was the finishing up of gluing the knob in, finish cutting it, shaping it, and then putting 2 coats of friction polish on the box itself. And it was a bad file, so all I have is these pictures here that gives a good idea of what it turned out like, but still I'm disappointed that you've watched this long and you don't get to see how it came about. Anyway, the main thing is God is good. Thank you for watching.